Hello world, Jeffrey here for Comic Sense, and today you will learn to play KeyForge, Call of the Archons, published by Fantasy Flight Games. KeyForge is a two-player card game in which each player takes on the role of an Archon and its team attempting to gain Ember and forge 3 keys before your opponent, unlocking the secrets of a vault containing knowledge and power. I mean, who isn't looking for that, right? No two decks in KeyForge are the same, and each Archon has its own unique name. There is also no deck building, as every deck must remain as it is. Each player will have an Archon with a unique name, image, 3 of the 7 houses, and a 36 card deck representing those 3 houses. There are 7 houses in KeyForge. Those houses are Brobnar, Dis, Shadows, Logos, Sanctum, Untamed, and Mars, which is not pictured here. The 36 card deck consists of 4 types of cards: creature cards, action cards, artifact cards, as well as upgrade cards. Each player will also need 3 two-sided key tokens, some Ember and damage tokens, as well as power and stun tokens, all of which can be found in the starter set. The first player is decided randomly and will draw 7 cards, while the second player will draw 6 cards. Players will alternate taking turns attempting to collect Ember until one player wins by forging 3 keys. During a player's turn, the active player performs the following 5 steps in order. The cost to forge a key is 6 Ember. To do this, return the Ember that is on your Archon card that you've collected and flip over a key. At the beginning of a game, you will not be able to do this step. Also, no more than 1 key can be forged on a turn. The active player will choose one of the 3 houses listed on their Archon card. For example, I could say, I'm choosing House Shadows. Or you could say, I'm choosing Dis House. Which house? Dis House. Using cards only from the selected house, you may play cards to the battlefield or the artifact row. You may discard cards to your discard pile and use cards from the active faction. This can be done in any order the active player chooses. There is one exception to this rule. During the first turn of play, the first player may only play or discard 1 card from the active house. When playing any card from your hand, if it has this Ember symbol, you will collect that much Ember. When a creature or artifact comes into play, they come into play exhausted. Action cards, once their ability is used, will go to the discard pile. Upgrade cards will come into play attached to any creature that you choose. You can also choose to discard any cards of the active house without gaining any of the benefits. Once cards are on the battlefield, it is very important to note that you cannot change the position of any of the cards. So for instance, this card and this card are considered on a flank, while the cards in the middle are not on a flank. If this card were to be defeated in battle, the cards would simply slide together. Any ready creature of the active house may reap. This means to exhaust the creature, and you will gain 1 ember for each creature that reaps. All cards also have abilities. For instance, this card's abilities are always in effect. You can tell that as you compare it to this card, which has a bold text that says play. The bold text means that the condition must be met for this card to trigger. So in the case of Poison Wave, you must play the card to trigger its ability. Other cards have bold text, like this one for Destroyed. This gain 2 ember will only trigger when this character is defeated in the battlefield. Some cards are so powerful in KeyForge that they cause Archons to gain chains. This card, Gateway to Dis, says destroy each creature, gain 3 chains. What this means is that at the end of my turn, I will draw 1 less card from the normal 6 that I would. Once I've completed that, I lose a chain. At the end of every turn, I will draw 1 less card until I reduce all the way down to 0 and can again draw 6 cards. Some cards have abilities that will trigger a stun on creatures. If you stun a creature, you place the stun card on top of the creature, and that creature is not able to perform any actions other than exhausting itself to remove the stun. Some card abilities allow for creatures to increase their power. When this happens, you add a power card to the creature, and the +1 power increases the number to the left of the card. Any ready creature of the active house may fight. Fighting consists of 1 creature attacking an opposing creature, and damage is dealt simultaneously. Damage is the number that you see on the left side of the card, which also represents that creature's health. So in this case, this creature is fighting this creature. If the attacking creature survives, it is exhausted and given damage equal to the opposing creature's number, while the opposing creature is destroyed and goes to their discard pile. If armor is involved, it represents the amount of damage reduced each turn. So for example, if this creature chooses to fight this creature, the 6 damage that is being dealt will be reduced by 2, and this creature will now only take 4 damage, while this creature will still be exhausted and take 5 damage in return. If I were to attack with another creature on the same turn, let's say this one, the armor has already been used up from the previous fight, so now this creature would be destroyed. During this step, you will ready all of the cards from your active house. Seriously, that's it. The active player ends their turn by drawing back up to 6 cards. No cards are drawn if the max is already in hand. If the deck is empty, shuffle the discard to create a new deck and continue drawing as needed. If at the end of this step you have enough ember to forge a key on your next turn, you will declare check so your opponent knows. That is everything you need to know so you can play an introductory game of KeyForge. For more details and in-depth explanation of these rules and more, visit fantasyflightgames.com and search for KeyForge on their products page. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll join me next time at the table and learn to play.